the Masters team. And we're ready. You guys want to go down the line, introduce yourselves? Starting with Terry.
All right, hi, I'm Terry Higuchi. I'm a designer on Roton. I work mostly on Masterverse.
Terry.
Hello everyone, I'm Roy Juarez, and I do packaging on Masters.
Hello everybody, I'm Sam. I mainly work on Origins. I'm happy to be here.
Good morning everyone. Robert Rudman, brand copywriter for Masters of the Universe.
You guys, I'm Damon. I'm a design lead on Masters of the Universe.
And once again, welcome to the 2023 Product and Packaging Design Panel for Motu. So, sure. A quick note before we get started. Everything that we're showing you here today in the front, it will be available for photography in the Masters booth later this afternoon after this panel. So if you can't get the shot you want now, plenty of opportunity to come by and get it later, up close and personal, with early samples of the new product that we're showing you today.
Did I blame all of my silly spells and idiotic incantations? No, my children. I blamed only me. But the moment I surrendered myself to the technological touch of my one true mother, I realized the futility of my failures were not my fault, so much as they were the folly of faith in magic. And now that my mind is open, I only trust what I see. And all I see is Motherboard. Glory be to the Lord Almighty.
Well done, Skeletor. You honor your mother as well as your father. Another soul absorbed for the gourd, my master.
If you stop by the booth, you might notice we're very excited about the amount of characters we get to build next year that are based on Motu content. Of course, one of those being Revolution, we're very excited for. If you don't know already, I assume most of you do, Revolution is the sequel to Revelation, available on Netflix now. And it debuts in early spring next year, 2024. So, hope you appreciate that. Before we jump into some of those figure designs, we want to take a second and do an unboxing.
All right, let's get to it.
Motherboard.
All right, everyone, so this is Motherboard here. All right. All right, let's unbox this bad girl here. All right, so we'll start off with the shipper box here, the protector box. Again, we have basically what we kind of do with our protector box. We like to work with the artists and have them do some really nice hand illustrations here. So we have Motherboard here kind of describing around the side panels. And then on the back of that protector box, we have a beautiful illustration of the full body of Motherboard. And then kind of getting into the actual packaging. So here we have this really cool setup box here that we did for Motherboard. You know, it's like very premium finishes. It's like once you get your hands on it, it's like really rigid box. You know, like the game board material, so it's really nice for like an in-package display type of packaging here. So we basically have, we were inspired by the actual transformation sequence at the end of season 1 of Revelation. So we know for the most part, the way Motherboard was depicted in the show was Screech here. So we have this out-of-box graphics of Screech, which is basically a 360 wraparound graphic of Screech here. And then the cool thing about it, kind of leaning in on that transformation part, we have this front of the box that it opens up this way. And there's also some magnets here, so it'll keep it closed, but once we open it, we can pull those back all the way. And there's also magnets back here, so those basically keeps it like locked in place. So so you guys can display it like this. Now, it comes with these little plastic pieces here. This is pretty much just for transit, so that way we can protect motherboard. But we can actually remove this right here. And then the cool thing about this right here, you have like this little, this cool diorama display here that's inside Castle Grayskull, so that's what the graphics is inside here. But then the cool part is that you can actually remove this here. So you remove the motherboard from the clamshell, and then inside here, like on the base right here, the platform, there's an actual stand there. So you can basically remove that stand. Oh, look, it's all taped up right now. Oh, there we go. So it comes with this display stand, and then the stand's back here, packed out behind. So you can basically pose motherboard with really cool poses, put her on the display, and then just put her back in here. So then that way you can have her just really cool poses and then have this really nice diorama background for her.
Cool, thanks, Ryan.
Yep.
You know, we can't tell you too much more about Motherboard. She is, of course, voiced by the one and only Meg Foster. She is obviously playing a giant role in the upcoming Revolution series. But what can you tell us about the product, Terry?
Okay, so first off, I can't take credit for designing the character. That was done by like Ted Biaselli and Netflix and the great animators at Powerhouse. They did an awesome job. It's really cool because this is like, this is like a new character for Motu, but it kind of hints back at like Screech. And as Ted was saying yesterday, it was like the anti-sorceress, so it's like a sorceress but with tech instead of magic. So that was really cool. And I really like the design. It kind of reminds me of like Fritz Lang's Metropolis robot, where everybody's like worshiping like tech. So yeah, this is really cool. So of course, looking at the design, it's like, can't make a toy out of it. Okay. It's like pretty daunting because it's just figure form. So we that up. Let's see if we can get her out of the package here.
She's taped up pretty well for transportation purposes. So she is available right now, by the way, at the retail booth for Mattel downstairs. She also, as of this morning, is available on MattelCreationMorning.com. You can see she is very snugly secured in her package, so if you order online, no worries about shipping on the paint or anything like that.
So we have the base figure, it's like really articulated, lots of points of articulation, but also, yeah, the wings are removable, and they're pretty complex, so that's why you have to like do it that way. But yeah, wings are out. Really cool articulated wings, which is like what's fun to work on. Plug that in.
She stands, I think, what, 12 inches tall with a 24-inch wingspan. Is that right?
Yeah, approximately, depending on how you pose the wings. Yeah, super cool. So, again, like all the detail on the wings, how it was painted, that was really fun to do. She's a lot of detail. You can see in the back. She has a really cool cape. It's double layered, so that we could do the design on the back and also the design on the inside, which has a really cool gradient and color scheme there. And you also can see some cables coming out from underneath too. So that's kind of like a representation of her tech in the show. I'm excited to have you guys like see the show. Really cool. And then of course we have the stand. That's really cool. It also helps you to display it, and has a really cool tech design on the base plate, which has a kind of like hidden Easter egg in there.
Let's put her in her diorama. Yeah. Or at least put it on. Motherboard, ladies and gentlemen. And she, of course, is not the only Revolution character coming out next year in Masterverse. I think we just saw one in that clip. Let's get started with Skeleton.
All right, so what happens with Skeleton, or Skeletor, as we saw from the show, is that we left off with Motherboard using her like fingernails to inject Skeletor with all his tech. So you have him here now, and he's got his Horde staff has, his Havoc staff got fused to his arm. So now you see like the ram skull type thing on the end of the end there. You have like multiple things you can grab people with that. There. It's cool. And he has his arm is like cables in there, so you can kind of bend it, hold it. So you can also articulate it. But really cool redesign of Skeletor. And you can see his legs are even like robotic. And he's got the kind of similar cloak design to the other cult members. Yeah, really cool. Very cool.
All right, Skeleton. Of course, you have Motherboard, who's kind of our evil technological sorceress. Then you need a good sorceress to fight her. We have Tila in her sorceress form, and a quick look at our new Masterverse packaging design with this just beautiful art in front, by the way. And I think we have an actual sample here.
Yes, so actually, I've been looking forward to this moment here and with you guys, the new Masterverse packaging that we've been working on so hard. And this right here is the new one right here. So we all know how much people love the artwork, right? We're always like turning the box, let's check out the artwork. So what we did here, we actually called this a little cameo window. So we actually reduced the window size. But the reason behind that is that it allowed us to actually bring the artwork from the back over to the front. So, you know, when I was working on the redesign, I was thinking of two things. I was thinking of like those in-package collectors and also like a modern collector, right? And kind of the way they display things and the way they would want to see the figure in packaging. So this kind of allows you to like, you know, celebrate the artwork and just enjoy the artwork. You can display your figure in package in this way. And also kind of like the modern collectors, we all know that we all struggle with space, right? A lot of times there's not a lot of room, right? So we end up packing out our box this way, right? So what I did though, we have like this really cool angles here that we're playing off of or working with. So we can actually display it like this, and then, you know, we also locking up the character name along with the artwork, so it kind of looks really nice when you're seeing it all on shelf, you know? So it's kind of like thinking of, you know, in-package collectors and modern collectors, the way they like to display stuff. And the cool thing about it is we actually kept that angle top, so whenever you're displaying these along your previous Masterverse, at least your artwork feels really cohesive. We also have the new Masterverse logo up there, so it's actually inspired by the vintage, so it felt very dynamic and it just felt really appropriate for this right here. We actually kind of elevated the exploding rocks, so it's sort of like the black lava rocks or something that we played with, trying to make it a little bit more elevated, you know, since this is Masterverse, adult collector kind of see this as. So we played with that. And then also just knowing that we kind of had the front focus on the artwork, so we wanted to focus on the product here, on the back here. So these are actually glam shots here. That, you know, this is what we call glam shots. So this is actually digital renders of the toys, but you know, we didn't want to kind of make it look like another illustration. We wanted to try to capture the actual toy. So we worked really hard with our artists in China, and we try to have like true representations of the actual figures. So these are really nice glam shots there, and the backgrounds are illustrations, so we're mixing the two mediums there. And then also because of the accessories, you know, just really quick on the front here, we're packing out that iconic accessory that the character's known for, right? So in Sorcerer's Tila, we have the staff there, and then for Skeletek, you know, well, his was the what's it called, the Havoc staff. The Havoc staff, but you know, we didn't have that, so we just packed out this. But we try to find the iconic accessory and pack it out next to it. And then on the back, we focus on the actual accessories that come inside that are not visible in the front. So we have like these nice little glam shots there of the accessories, so that way you know exactly what you're getting. And then also, kind of like, this is one thing that's really cool about this item here, the packaging itself. So what we're kind of recommending is that you guys open up the packaging from the bottom. It's the easiest way to get to the product. So let's see. Forgot to remove the tape here.
By the way, I love being in a panel where the audience corrects the panelists.
All right, so once you remove the tape there, you just slide out the tray. And then you have this really cool insert here. So basically we have a nice flip color to let the product pop out of there. But this right here, this is kind of built into the die line. This is the accessory box. So basically all your other accessories that come inside will be packed out in these little tissue paper here. So, and it's really nice because this right here allows you to, you know, if you get extra heads, extra hands, weapons that you're not just playing with their figure, it allows you to just sort of pack it back in here. And that way you kind of, everything's sort of self-contained in this packaging. So definitely thinking of, you know, collectors and the way they like to display. And, you know, we all end up with like Ziploc bags, right? With all the stuff inside there. So this kind of helps kind of keep things a little bit more organized.
We start seeing this new packaging on shelf in spring 2024. And not just these revolutionary famous figures from content as well, including, you might have seen in our booth, 1987 film edition.
Yeah, so we're on a big foster kit here.
Yeah.
She's awesome. Not only from the '87 movie, but her voice in Motherboard is really great, fantastic. So yeah, we decided to like do the figure that hasn't been done before from the '87 movie. So we have Evil Lynn. And this is not the final one. We're still tweaking, but this is the stage we're at right now. But she's got a lot of cool details from the movie costumes. Those movie costumes are really complex and detailed, so it was difficult to find all the shots and stuff I needed for that. But yeah, she's looking really cool, and she's coming with the energized cosmic heat from the movie. So yeah, it was really cool. She saw 50 shades, but yeah, tons of detail on this figure. I'm just super happy to try to do more movie figures.
Is this the first time we're seeing her figure form?
I believe so, yeah. This is like the first time, so it's exciting because, yeah, this is one of the most memorable characters in the movie.
We love working with her. And we have a look as well at her packaging design.
Yes. So for the packaging here, we were inspired by the '87 poster. I think it was the German poster, something like that, if I recall correctly. And it was just this nice kind of like collage of like, I think it was Dolph Lundgren and Skeletor in the back. So we kind of have Skeletor right there, but instead of Dolph Lundgren, we have Evil Lynn there, Meg Foster, kind of leading the charge. And then, you know, you can see kind of like the troopers in the background there. We also have like fun little Easter eggs like Beastman there, movie Beastman. And, you know, we have also Skeletor sort of flying that spaceship that is very iconic from the movie.
Roy, are they Easter eggs if you tell the audience about them?
A lot of more spoilers now.
So there's a few of our content-based characters, but as you guys know, there is another portion of Masterverse that we here love. Actually, and probably I would call it the brainchild of Robert Rudman, in collaboration with a few other folks in Mattel. What should we know about New Eternia?
New Eternia started out as an idea of Terry being inspired by like old sketches and various like old iterations of the figure as well as like taking some old pieces and kind of mashing them together into reimagined figures. But it needed a story. Like there was no New Eternia prior, so we had these amazing figures. It started out with our Viking He-Man and our Spartan Skeletor, our Beastman with the head cloak, and it seemed like a good story opportunity for Moto, which is very much grounded we created these figures, but we need a story behind them. Like, one of the stories from, I think, is that there's this cataclysmic event that destroyed Castle Grayskull, sent the power of Grayskull scattering throughout the entire planet, and now it's kind of up for grabs. And it broke through the multiverse, so it's bringing people from all different corners of all different forms of Eternia over to this one planet, trying to capture the power of Grayskull for themselves. We did a collaboration with Dark Horse where they brought it to life in their comics, and now we're doing a lot of individual storytelling on the back of packaging that you know, it's a starting point and people can kind of fill in blanks for themselves. It's fun to have kind of like a blank slate to do a little bit of original storytelling for a brand that's got such a deep lineage. I also just kind of want to take like a brief moment to just like commend Roy on like the packaging work that he does. Like, since I first joined Mattel back in 2011 over on the girls brand when we were working on Polly Pocket together, and then we found ourselves again on action figures, and he's like, you can tell he's like very thoughtful of like how is this going to work, what kind of stuff that I can put in there that's going to be for the fans. Really thinking of you guys, the collector first, and how it could display, how it can unbox, and you know, we're really lucky to have someone on the brand who's such a big fan and puts so much thought in the entire aspect of packaging.
Thanks, Robert.
New Eternia coming out of the Polly Pocket Extended Universe. Also,
Don't forget Monster High.
Yeah. Thank you, Rob David, also for helping us bring it to life. And speaking of New Eternia, I think we have a new character to reveal. Is that right?
Yes, we do.
All right, let's take a look. Who could it be? Rapture.
All of you remember what your first He-Man figure was? And for me, that was this guy, Trapjaw. So I knew about the other characters, but Trapjaw was like the first one I wanted to buy. So that's I have good memories about that one. So I try to keep that in mind when I design toys that you guys out there with. You guys all have your favorite, right? The one that you had first, or your favorite character. So mine was Trapjaw. So I wanted to do him in a new Eternia style. I wanted to keep him iconic. And for me, that's hard because I don't want to mess up what's so good, you know. So I just try to kind of add things, try to make it a little better. And I get a lot of help from my other fellow designers who can give me pointers and push me. So this is a new Trapjaw. And to me, when I got this figure, I thought he was like a space pirate because you know, he has this hook and he's got this like crazy crossbones belt. So yeah, I thought he was a space pirate. So in my head, he's a space pirate. So we redesigned his arm, a little more amped up here. He's got the opening jaw. He's got this strap on him. Now he can carry the extra sword there. And of course, he has to have his weapons that you clip onto his belt. So he's got like a blaster, and he's got like this claw, stick on his belt. And then some things I did different on this guy was on this cloth feature. It opens up like that. But you can take this part of the cloth and you take his jaw off, and then put this on the jaw.
Now he's Claw Jaw.
Claw jaw. Just alternate.
Trapper
So now he has like a silver jaw with his ear bolts like a little bit more extended. So now he kind of looks a little more like the mini comics. Also his sword, he has an extra sword now. And you can actually stick the sword on to his arm now too. So do some swashbuckling like a pirate. Yeah, so yeah, I had a fun time doing this guy. because again, he's my first He-Man character, so I have good memories about him. And then I don't know, yeah, you've seen this sketches up there. Yeah, I was dabbling around with the helmet. I really like the lip design that came up later on the back of the helmet. But then I went back to the card art on the cross cell, and he had more like a motorcycle kind of helmet, so I went with that because I kind of like that. So, just things along the way where I kind of tweak as I go along. Yeah, there's new trap jaw.
Trap jaw.
We saw that in Sanford, I was telling Terry, that's the coolest monkey fig ever made. I love it.
And we have a look at the packaging as well.
Yeah. Alright, so this is the packaging right here for Trap Jaw here. Again, we have that beautiful artwork there on the front panel that wraps over to the side panel. As you can see right there on that side panel, there's a fun little nod to Trap Jaw's mini comic where he was inside the Castle Grayskull, battling He-Man there. So that was a fun nod to that. Just one of the things I want to say about this one. This artwork's been amazing. I've been having a blast working on the artwork here. As you can see, there's just so much fun detail everywhere. So it's really, really, really cool here. And just big thanks to Simon Eckert. You know, I've been working with him on the illustrations here. So he's just been, with the illustrations. And then again, those cool glamors on the back featuring all the accessories that come with Trap Jaw.
All right, so here's a look at a sampling of your Masterverse spring lineup, featuring some of the guys you saw today and a couple of others. Wildorn Orko, now present in the booth, by the way.
Man at Arms is new Eternia Man at Arms, by the way.
And Carter for Battle Armor He-Man coming soon. Alright, but of course, as much as we love our Masterverse line, sometimes you gotta take it back to the store. So I'm happy to announce that Origins is continuing into 2024, and our new theme for the year, you probably saw it downstairs, of course, is the Cartoon Collection. And I'm going to hand over to Sam to tell us a little bit about what's different.
All right,
What do you
so
expect?
that image there illustrates it nice, right? So David and I were actually talking about, some new things we can do with Origins. Let's stay creative. Let's stay, on the cutting edge of like new stuff, right? So we're like racking our brains, and we had done the 4-pack with the Filmation He-Man in there, and we kind of evaluated like it was cool, but there's a lot of room to improve. So we first started out, messing with what can we make better on the head sculpt, and then we were like, if we're gonna do a new head, maybe we should look at doing a new body, like updating it a little bit to just give it a meaningful difference from what we were doing previously. So if you look at that image there, they're standing up a little bit more straight. They're a little bit more proportional to the show. Brand new head sculpts and really cool accessories. As you guys saw in the glass cases downstairs, accessories from specific episodes of the show. So yeah, we're really excited to showcase it for you guys this year. Yeah, it's really cool.
One thing to note is the ultimate approach was to update it to be backwards compatible. So the new cartoon collection body style still has the same changeability with the classic Origins figures. So that system of play that allows us to customize characters, that is still in play here with the new cartoon collection.
Yep, same 5.5-inch scale.
Same scale and same connection points.
Awesome. And I think we have our first look at some of that packaging too. We saw it down in the booth.
Yeah, so
See the art?
So we saw the He-Man right there on the display case there. So we were inspired by the cartoon itself also. So you can see that cartoon-inspired Castle Grayskull there with that beautiful blue background or sky that you see. And then this, the more traditional, He-Man and the Masters of the Universe stacked logo version coming behind Castle Grayskull shooting upward. And then also, all of our blister cards will feature this really cool cartoon collection sticker that will be on the front of the blisters. And then just kind of like turning it around for the artwork there. So one of the things we wanted to do with the artwork is basically focus around the accessory that was featured in, like, you know, the episodes. So in this case, which one is it? Master Power, I believe. Yeah, Master Power. So we wanted to focus on that sort of ancient. So this is that one moment there where the two swords, or the sort of ancient draws the power sword, and then they merge together to form like that ultimate power sword. So we really wanted to focus on that, take inspiration from the actual cartoon, but also take some liberties so that way we can deliver a really, really fun, dynamic layout there. Just beautiful artwork, very colorful.
And you also don't have to like search the memory banks if you're like, what episode was this from? Because on the back of the character description, we named the episode, so you know exactly which episode it came from.
Yep.
And a quick look at, I guess, the evolution of Roy's packaging design over the years. You can see it's really going to stand out, and we absolutely love it.
And here's like a little sort of like, part of that evolution when we first started in 2020, when we launched, and when we're at now, just the way the packaging has evolved over time.
That infamous He-Man head.
Yep.
And I think we've talked about a lot of our new cartoon collection characters. We've shown some of them downstairs, but I think we have a new one to share coming in spring 2024. Who could it be?
So, I know you guys are all excited, and I told you to come to the panel to see it. It won't disappoint. It's Beastman! This is one of the things I was going on about this.
So where Trap Show was Terry's first, Beastman was my first. So I have a big heart for Beastman and Masterverse. Those were my first two figures.
And the orange coloring on the orange and red and the warm colors really pop out against the blue. But so here's just the comparison for Beastman Origins and Cartoon Collection. Just to reiterate like the differences and how we've updated the body. But I'm really happy with the design. We're really excited to show off Beastman. But he also comes with this hover ray that was featured in episode Dragon Invasion, where he's stealing dragons.
Snatch some eggs.
Not cool, man. But yeah, it'll just fit into his hands. So yeah.
They're so excited the other way.
Dragon eggs. He also comes with his so yeah, all his armor is new. The bicep guards are new. Yeah, it's a really cool update to Beastman.
That's right, and I think we have a shot of it coming to life, that episode, in Roy's art.
Yeah, so we were like, honestly, Beastman just looks really, really cool. So one of the things we wanted to do, we weren't quite there yet, but we just basically took, what we had and we tried to mock one up for Comic-Con here.
This is the most powerful beast in the universe.
He is today. He is the most powerful beast in the universe today. But it's just very striking, right? Like you can see the orange against that blue. This turned out really, really great. So it's definitely one that we wanted to do. So we just did this quick mock-up here. And then, looking at the back artwork there, again, focusing, like Sam said, was the Dragon's Invasion, So this is kind of taking, that little moment in that episode where he was stealing the dragon's eggs. So we have here that moment there. We also have the dragon just kind of coming in, and then we see Skeletal there just kind of fighting off the dragon while Beastman steals the eggs.
Awesome. So here is a look at some of the faces you can expect to see coming in spring 2024. Jumping right off the screen at you. But of course, even though we're introducing the Cartoon Collection Origins, we still have a promise to keep from when we first launched this line. And for those of you completionists, then Mattel Creations will be offering all things vintage, including the next 4 characters all coming out in spring, including, I think you saw it on display, Night Stalker.
Yeah, yeah, that's right, or Night Stalker, man. I'm a fan of the evil guys, right? So they were like, hey, let's do Strider. I was like, let's do Night Stalker first. We're happy to finally bring you guys Night Stalker. If you guys noticed in the booth downstairs, it's got a new base, a display base, that's heavily inspired from Snake Mountain. So you'll see details on the base that are in Snake Mountain, like the vines. There were some faces on it, but we were like, oh, it's kind of weird looking, like kind of creepy. So we just decided not to do that. But we updated some of we have rather added like the rails to it on the base, kind of like Strider had the wooden rails on it. But the rails on the Night Stalker base is based off of the handrailing on the Snake Mountain bridge. So we're kind of just linking Snake Mountain and the Night Stalker base together. So it feels like a cohesive statement, right? It's like they're part of the same world. So yeah, it's really exciting for me. I love Night Stalker.
About that base.
All about that base, man. No trouble, no trouble.
And also displayed in our booth downstairs, you can find Roton.
Yeah, rock on. So this one was exciting for me because the vintage one, it didn't have a lot of articulation. So it was had to put our thinking caps on and kind of evaluate how do we make this better, or how do we make this feel like Origins. So what we ended up doing is we had to move some of the rock pieces to the back underside of his arm, so he has full articulation on his elbows. Move the rock panels on his legs to the back of his legs, so he has full knee articulation. The model in the case downstairs, like the neck is kind of wonky. That's just a sample, I promise. I'm not gonna be like that final one. But he still does transform into a rock. Full articulation. He has his removable parts, which is a crazy feat that our engineering team was able to do. Kudos to them. But
You're saying anyone can transform into a rock?
if you want, I mean,
Rock.
yeah, it's great. I'm excited.
All right, the next two guys have not been revealed in the booth yet. I think the first one is the only character I know that can make Mechanic jealous. Extendar, coming spring 2024.
Yeah. So I forget who it was, but somebody stopped by the booth yesterday and said they were making bets on who the. That's it right there. So here he is in his full glory, Extendar. So in Shores and Fashion, we're like, we take a look at the vintage product, like, how do we make this better? So we opted to make these extension pieces separate parts. So we got. So these are separate pieces to maintain elbow articulation, because if they were like part of the arm, you just be straight, right? So they're removable hands, so you can still remove all of the. It's got the same removable points as the other Origins figures, but yeah. And his head and his torso do extend, and those pieces are inside the torso. So yeah, you can still remove his head. And his this connection point, so you can still like customize swap parts there. He comes with this transforming shield, which is really cool. Get that in base form and then transform.
Sam, we don't use that word.
Convert.
All right, Extendar, ladies and gentlemen. And then our final reveal for the day. It's not a tornado. It's not a hurricane. It's a cyclone.
Stand back. It's a cycle.
So I've heard this guy's name drop in the booth like the whole time. And it sucked because I couldn't say anything. I wanted to say stuff so bad. I was like, God. But here's Cyclone. Yeah. So he comes with 2 extra hands that are tornadoes, and he comes with this ring accessory that came into plastic. Put them on the back here. Or and then this is kind of an older sample, but our new one you can also there's a connection point here. So you can have the plastic slip up here, or you can have it down here. But something that's really cool about this is still making it's being featured. So for now, you know, in his base form like this, he has full waist articulation. But in order to activate the feature, you just pop his torso up, and his feet will fall off. So you pop the torso up, and then there's this little dial here. Yeah, we were looking at ways to like like always for Origins, how do we make it better, right? So we wanted to maintain all the articulation points that our other Origins figures had. So we were like, how can we keep this as a good solid joint, right, or point of movement? But then how do we activate the feature and still have it there? Because that's the spirit of who Cyclone is, right? So yeah, we decided on this mechanism. The gap here is a little big, and updated samples, it will be, the gap is a little closer. But yeah, get this cool, iconic Cyclone feature.
All right. Thank you, Sing. Thank you. All right, quick, once again, round of applause for the team. Once again, we are going to bring a lot of these guys down to the booth. You can take photos of them there as well. We have more coming in spring 24 that we are not sharing today. So we will reveal those later this fall. Stay tuned. We're very excited to show you. But I believe we do have 5, 6 minutes left. You guys want to take a few questions?
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. First hand up, let's go.
Sure. All of them. Where are the Great Rebellion figures? Come on, just a couple.
Well, you have to meet that, guys. I think.
Board ladies are great, but they
Yeah.
don't shine. We want the good guys, because that's like, we love those characters too. I mean, yeah, there are a couple people who don't, but like, most of us do. So yeah, please, come on.
Okay. Word for life. I mean, I think our favorite part of being here with you guys is also getting these notes from you. And I think we like to keep an open mind. We say the door is always open to ideas. And all right, I guess we better get to work.
I've got a son who collects these. He wants them. Oh my gosh, thank you. That's going to him. I'll cry while I hand it to him, but I will get this. Thank you. Yeah, and thanks for making Cyclone work, because that's for him too. So thank you for that.
Do we have a new Eternia Leech on the way by chance for Masterverse? Because I love collecting Masterverse, and Leech is one of my favorite characters.
Like I said, we have more characters to share later this season, which may or may not be included in them, but I just have to all wait and see.
I think it's one of the great things about the brand though is that you can always create, like whether it's the new Eternia or whether you're trying to create vintage style. We've got 2 really cool form factors that you can play around with. So it's like, we did Leech and Origins, but he's definitely someone who we should do in Masterverse also. Maybe a couple of different ways.
Did you share where we're going to find them? Like, are these going to be some of them Mattel Creations exclusives? Are they going to be Target, Walmart?
Yeah. So pretty much, I think almost everything we shared here today is mainline. The vintage Origins figures are going to be available on Mattel Creations going forward. You can find it there. And then I believe Evil Lynn will be a retailer exclusive in the spring. But everything else, mainline, available everywhere. Yeah.
The cartoon line, will that be the entire stretch, or is it just certain figures like the main bad guys?
You'll see a mix of figures. I think similar to our Rise of this year, it's going to be the predominant theme of what you're seeing in 24, but there might be some other stuff mixed in as well.
Okay, sweet, thanks, appreciate it.
Of course. Yeah, back there. You in the green, yeah.
So you referenced a lot some of the original action figures and inspiration for the new stuff that's coming out, and then obviously like with the vintage line. How often do you get to play with some of the older figures in the Mattel archives? Because I know Mattel has giant archives. I'm interviewing with a job with it like next week, and I'm very excited about it. But yeah, what's the real deal?
Play is a strong strong word.
I play. I don't know about you. I play.
I still have my original 2-bad at my desk.
We're quickly running out of vintage figures because keep playing. I mean, you guys tell us.
Yeah, so every time we do an Origins figure, we always, 100% of the time reference the vintage stuff. So every Origins figure that we've done, we've had a sample of the vintage. And, you know, we just get to handle it, we get to play with it. We feel like, or I get to feel the spirit of what the figure is, like what makes the character, right? And then it goes off to get scanned after that. So, yeah, so 100% of the time, every Origins figure that we have done, we always have a sample to reference and play with, and you know, we're really intimate with our figures.
All right, we're gonna try to sneak in one more question because I'm getting yelled at from the back. I think we have a fan way back there who's been very patient with us. It's funny, I got asked this question earlier today. It's funny because as a kid, you always want to be like the main hero and save the day and be He-Man. And I found as I've gotten older, I'm really drawn to Man-at-Arms. And I think just in terms of what he brings to the battlefield, what he brings to the laboratory, but also his role as like a protector and a custodian, in some instances a father. It's really just kind of been ringing true in my ears recently. So yeah, that's my favorite. What about you guys?
Right here, bro. Well, for me, it would be Commanding Faces. That's my favorite character. I just personally relate to him a lot. I guess 3 personalities. You know, my love for horror movies and transforming toys. Converters. And also because of the creative side. I know, you know, in the mini comics he was an actor. So just that all those 3 things have always kind of been part of my personality of who I am. So I've always really connected with Commanding Faces.
Man, that's tough. I was always a Trap Shop fan, but when I started working on Merchants, I was like, Ninja is so cool.
Ninja.
But now I'm on a 2-bad like thing, so I'm like, yo, 2-bad he's so bad, you know? Like, it's cool, man. It's just like 2 dudes. I'm also a Gemini. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But he's just a cool character. You know, you get the duality of the blue and the purple and like the silver armor versus like kind of reddish. That's so cool to me right now. I'm on like a 2-bad thing. So.
2-bad Origins confirmed.
We'll see.
I like Beastman a lot, but I've also been on a little bit of like a merman kick. Just kind of like storytelling and the imagination because he's such a treacherous trout.
Copywriter, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, that was not me. That was from our show. Someone's favorite description of merman. So yeah, those are my 2 guys.
For me, it goes back to the first 2 guys I had for Beastman and Man-at-Arms, and on that Beastman, from the basic animation, the looks and package is just stunning, and so he's got my heart right now.
All right, thank you everybody. Another round of applause for